I'll give you that. I'll give you credit, because if I were in that position, I'd just bail. I'm not gonna lie. I'd go back on it.
Yeah, I look good as a blonde in blue lipstick.
After he arrived at Jay and Silent Bob's secret stash in Red Bank, New Jersey, Zack sits down with Ming Chen of AMC's Comic Book Men.
Hey everybody, it's Zack Patterson from Castwave Studios. We found our way up to Jay and Bob's secret stash up in Red Bank, New Jersey. We're here to interview Ming Chen of the Comic Book Men from AMC, the popular show. Thanks for coming.
No problem. How you doing, everybody?
First off, congratulations on the renewal. I just heard season 3 is a go.
Yes, it's a go.
Should be very exciting.
It should be. I had a lot of fun doing the first 2 seasons. Wanted to keep it going. So
I was gonna say, what's it like doing the show with AMC when they come in?
AMC. I mean, if you're talking purely AMC, the home of like all my favorite TV shows. I mean, I hate to sound like a company man, but Walking Dead.
I mean, it's a wonderful
Breaking
show.
Bad.
Yep.
Hell on Wheels, Mad Men. It's weird.
They've taken the helm for great television.
Yeah, it's weird being. You're talking. Baltimore Orioles, Los Angeles Dodgers, and then they're. It's like the major leagues calling you up.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, well, I'm the water boy. Like, what am I? Why? They're like, here, hit, kid, hit, field. Like, you're up with us, and it's weird.
How did that come about?
It came about, I think, the story I heard was, Walking Dead TV show became a big hit. Mm-hmm. And, between seasons, there was a big gap. And they had wanted to kind of fill that gap, kind of keep the comic book audience on the net, watching the network between seasons. So they thought about, they were kind of came up with the idea of, how about a reality show based around a comic book store?
There's no better comic book store, obviously.
Yeah, and that kind of went to like, we heard Kevin Smith has a comic book store. Let's see if he has any input. And they talked to him, and he was like, well, this is what you want to do. Find a comic book store somewhere in the country, the best one in the country. Cast a couple guys to be on the show. Do some effort. And the whole time, he never thought, wait a minute, I have my own show. I have guys that I hired to be there. His idea was to the cast and do what they usually do. Mm-hmm. So what they did, they came in here and they filmed a pilot. He's like, well, pilot, kind of loose form. You can use whoever you want. Go ahead, use my store. And once they filmed the pilot, cut it together, the network was like, these are your guys. Like, we don't have to cast anybody. These guys are kind of funny. And also they listened to the podcast we do here, Tell 'em Steve Dave, which basically a weekly podcast of us making fun of each other and us busting each other's balls.
Yep.
And they heard that and they're like, well, let's just throw a camera in front of these guys and there's the show. So luckily it worked out.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's just been... I've noticed that. What would you say... I mean, for those of you who don't watch the show, what would you say your role is here at the store?
My role is... if you read the official description, it says whipping boy.
Well, I wasn't going to imply such a role.
That could go a whole bunch of different ways. If you watch the show, I get made fun of a lot. And people are like, how dare they, these bigger, whiter gentlemen making fun of an Asian kid.
He appears to be passing that on.
Yeah, and a lot of some people think it's funny. Some people kind of go back to their childhood when they were bullied, and they're like, screw those guys. But
surely you've got a fan base. It's not like everybody goes, oh, that guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
out of all 3 guys, I've been here the least amount of years. So usually the newer guy kind of dumb bombing a little more. Sometimes I bring it on myself. I'll admit it, but...
Oh, yeah, like the first episode I saw, I still to this day don't know why you volunteered to eat a box of stale Batman cereal.
I know I'll eat anything. I'll put anything in my mouth.
I mean, I honestly, I wouldn't lie. If Star Wars cereal was presented to me, I'd probably give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's just one of those things, you can't not try it.
Yeah.
It won't kill you, it's starch.
No, not at all. But, we've known each other for many years, some over 10 years, and when you have friends for that long... you start making fun of each other. Some more than others. Some guys easier to make fun of. But it's been like that for a long time here. So why not throw some cameras in front of us and film it?
Oh yeah, that's the best. That's what really sells is when it's legitimate. Like I mean, the first episode that I ever saw was the famed auction challenge with the Fantastic Four marriage at the end of it.
Oh boy, yeah, not my proudest moment.
No, it depends on what you would define Pride as. I mean, that was a big moment. That was a big reenactment of a famous comic book plot.
It was. Thank Walt Flanagan for always wanting to see that in person, I guess.
It was a unique selection. I'll definitely say that.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, my dad is like, what why? What happened?
Well, why? Really, that's what you could ask. It's like, what happened there? Why didn't you just make a run for it?
Yeah, he's just like, what happens? Like, you saw I lost. Bet's a bet. At least I lived up to my end.
Oh, I'll give you that. I'll give you credit, because if I were in that position, I'd just bail. I'm not gonna lie. I'd go back on it.
Yeah, I look good as a blonde in blue lipstick.
I mean, it was an excellent performance. I must say, you were very believable.
Thank you.
You were an excellent Mrs. Fantastic.
Thank you. Sue Storm. Yeah. I've done worse.
Have you met any big leagues, like anyone famous through the store from working here?
I mean, Stanley, obviously. If you saw the show, Stanley
that was legendary. That must have been like the best day.
That was pretty crazy, and he's 90 years old now, and more energy than all four of us combined.
I noticed that he was just all over the place, telling stories, hanging out. I mean, he's one of like the best celebrities to meet and talk to.
Oh, yeah, I think so. He's one. They say never meet your idols. You always be disappointed. No, total. He exceeded any expectations, answered all of our stupid questions, and did it with a smile. And his stand enthusiasm. It's like, well, Ming. He
does have that very chill, like, grandfather tone.
Yes,
like, let me tell you why Spider-Man did this.
Yeah.
You don't get that with a lot of celebrities. Like, he will sit there, if he has the time, he'll talk to you for hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely incredible.
Except if it's Brian Johnson, then he's like, you know what, I got to get out of here. True believers, Excelsior.
Oh, of course, because he has to sign off with Excelsior.
Yeah.
So with the comic industry really going digital, do you guys find it hard to maintain salesmanship?
No, I mean, I think you have to maintain salesmanship to keep people coming back.
Oh,
I think digital's good, but we're still believers in tangibility. We want that book in our hands. We want something that we can look at, something that we can flip through. The colors, the smell.
Yeah, it's how we grew up.
Yeah,
it has that smell. You pick up a fresh comic book and you're just like, it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah, it's heavenly. There's also the experience of going down every Wednesday. And I need my I need my fix. I need my
exactly.
Comics. I need everything I pulled. I still think it's an experience. One that I never, they kind of compare it to the music industry. It's like, well, who buys CDs anymore? I think it's different. I think it's different. I never, my heart never started thumping going into Sam Goody or music anymore.
Yeah, exactly. For that matter. And I mean, it's the same argument with music, because my friends will tell me that you can't get the same sound without a CD that you get with digital.
Right.
It's like, and I mean, well, my speakers in my car are personally crap, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, anytime visuals are involved, I think you still need to be there. I mean, granted, digital is convenient. If you're missing an issue or a store sold out, okay, yeah, press a button and you'll have it. But you still, and the whole collector mentality, I think we'll be fine for a while.
Oh, absolutely. The collectibles in this store are staggering.
Yeah. Between
Star Wars, comic books, I mean, you can get just about anything in here. And what we've seen on the show pass through, I mean, you've seen some pretty incredible collectibles pass through, some homemade stuff. I mean, what stands out as some of the coolest stuff you've seen come through?
One thing, speaking of Star Wars, a giant Millennium Falcon that used to hang in. It was made 1997 when
the famed re-releases.
Yeah, when the re-releases came out. Star Wars put out the Power of the Force line of toys, and a lot of Toys R Us has got this huge, gigantic Millennium Falcon that would hang from the ceiling. And I used to go on toy runs back then.
Yep.
Go to all the stores, see what they had, try to figure out when the trucks would pull up to get the new shipments. And every time I walked into Toys R Us, I would look up, see that Millennium Falcon, and I wanted it. I wanted it for years.
And it served as a beacon. That was your way through the desert. You'd pass like, hell with the Legos, forget it. We're going right there.
Yeah, we're going right there. And I had dreams of hanging that thing up above my bed.
Oh yeah, as we all do. I mean, it's a legendary craft in the world of science fiction. It's easily top 5, top 10, no matter who you're talking to.
Yeah, just the oversized size, and then and then I got older. I got married, had kids, and and I didn't really think about it until that dude brought it in. I was like, oh man.
And then it just takes you right back.
Yeah, it's like I have nowhere to put this now, but we have it still here in the store, so it's kind of mine. That's the closest I'll get. So that was
And with kids, Star Wars is risky now because you can't introduce it to them until they're old enough to hate Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Because if you fire it up and they're like, oh, he's so funny, it's like go to your room.
Yeah, that's it. Get out of here. Stop this. Yeah.
It's dangerous. It's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
So with Comic Book Men hitting season 3, and the huge slew of comic book films, superhero films coming in and out. Do you think comic book culture is will see a new rise, or do you think there'll still be a bit of a decline?
I mean, I think it's there. I think it started probably. You can go back to 2008 Iron Man, the first Iron Man. I mean, you can even go back to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans in 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
I think once they started getting comic book movies right, I think that got into a rise. I think once the books started getting more adult. Say Preacher, or not so far back, Why the Last Man.
Yeah.
I think you got a lot of those people back as well. And if you look around here, most of the books are geared toward adults, and the reason why they do that, adults have money. So.
Oh, so exactly.
But I think with the movies and things like that, it started becoming cooler. You could actually go out and admit it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah. And then, you'll see hipsters now wearing Avengers shirts, Fantastic Four symbol, Captain America shield. Like, it's, and they're all weathered, like the hipster style.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's the ones that are supposed to look all broken down, like they've had them for like 20 years. They just bought them yesterday at Walmart.
Yeah. Back in the day, we had, it wasn't so cool, but now, everyone's doing it now.
Oh, I know. It's great. It's just so relaxed because you can go to movies with people and they'll really be into, like, say, the Avengers, and you can say, you want to know something really cool about the Avengers?
Yeah.
It's like, I've read this, and...
Yeah. I think, you could impress a girl now.
Oh, that's actually how I met my girlfriend.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, she loves Star Wars comic books. It was a moment of victory for the nerds,
Yeah, and I remember I was passing at a hotel pool. I saw a beautiful girl by the pool reading Walking Dead Compendium 2, and I was just like, whoa.
Holy crap.
Like, this is cool.
Yeah.
It was great. And, it's like, hey, I wanted to go up and, put on a hat. And I was like, hey, Glenn, right? Glenn, I like Walking Dead. Like, but yeah. I was like, oh, wait, I'm married. I can't, yeah. But,
I mean, that would be, all things considered, it's a great strategy. Remember that.
Yes, read books, and, it'll work out. Just, you don't even need patience. Ladies are reading comics. Ladies are watching the movies.
Precisely.
Everybody is.
Things like Big Bang are making, essentially, nerdness mainstream.
It's there.
It's finally out of the shell. Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
It's a blast.
Yeah.
All right, now I have to ask, on IMDb, you have a credit in the upcoming film Jay and Silent Bob's super groovy cartoon movie. Can you tell us anything about?
Jay and Silent Bob's super groovy cartoon movie, brainchild of Jason Mewes, who plays Jay. He's Jay of Jay and Silent Bob fame. He one day woke up, decided he wanted to do an animated movie, so that's kind of how that came about. Kevin wrote it, animated by a good friend of ours, Steve Stark, and touring the country now. You can go see it on tour near you.
Oh, we've been trying, believe me.
Yeah. And Kevin's idea thing, he's like, well, okay, we need voices. We need voices to put behind the characters. So Jay, definitely one of them. Kevin, not so much. He plays Silent Bob, doesn't have to say much.
Exactly.
But he was kind of like, I wrote it, so I'm not going to say nothing. But his thing was, I want every voice in the movie to kind of be from the family, the Smodco family.
Oh, there you go.
So he recruited us. All the comic book men have voices in there. Q, Brian Quinn from Practical Jokers, has a voice.
Excellent.
And I actually got two. First one was I played Shower Bully number 2.
Bully number 2?
Shower Bully number 2.
Shower Bully. That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, and then a few weeks later, I was asked to. I got an email. I was like, "Listen, I need you to utter a phrase. I need you to be as racistly Asian as possible, and I need you to, energy. Like that line in Lost in Translation, like more intensity. That's pack. So that one I won't reveal. That one's a little more. That was a little crazier.
Yeah, a little risque.
Yeah, voice. I've always read about The Simpsons. They're like, oh yeah, this is the greatest job in the world. We talk into a mic and we get to do funny voices and we get millions of dollars for it.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, they were right. It was fun.
I was gonna say it must have been a real blast. You enjoyed it?
It was fun. Yeah, and I'd love to do more. They weren't lying. It is fun and easy, and I'm not making Simpsons money, but hey,
it's better than nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
It pays the bills,
Right.
All right, let's get into the nerd stuff.
Okay.
All right, DC or Marvel, and why?
Right now, I think DC. I like the New 52 reboot. I especially here as a retailer, got a whole new audience, and I think overall I like the characters. who's not a Batman fan? Who's not
Right.
a Superman fan? I think overall, if you know, Wonder Woman. I mean, overall, I think it's a little better. If you go movie wise, you know, you gotta go Marvel. You know, the way they pull together.
Certainly these
Avengers.
days Marvel makes better movies than comics.
Oh yeah, yeah. And DC is like, oh crap. I think they're kind of in the movie department. They're kind of like, crap. How are we gonna, you know, how are we gonna top this? But they're very smart with doing the individual movies and then bringing it together. And then, you know, even with Iron Man 3, they go and reference back the Avengers, and you know, they built the world like they do in the comic books.
Yep,
they did it right.
I had such doubts when the Avengers came out, and then when I finally saw it, I was like, oh my god, they did it.
Yeah, in my head, you know, even though it's Joss Whedon, master storyteller, I was like, it's too many people, man. That's always the downfall, right?
Yep.
But no, you know, screw all the backstory. You saw that already. Let's just get to the storytelling like they do in the comics. You know, visuals will come. Visuals are easy.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
And Joss has always delivered with that. He needs a better signature in every movie. His signatures. Oh, this is a Josh movie. How do you know? Because I killed somebody that you love.
Right. Yeah.
Why does it keep happening?
Yeah.
God forbid. I can't wait to see what happens in Avengers 2.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't need Stark anymore. Just
Right. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Plus, he didn't sign a contract. We're good. So.
Yeah. I do the video game show for Castwave, and I've noticed the Marvel games always turn out horrible, and then like Injustice just came out.
Yeah.
And it's one of the best fighting games I've ever played. So
phenomenal.
it's almost it's almost safe to say DC is starting to make a big comeback in the video game market.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, you know, what comes next.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Favorite comic book moment? It's a broad question, yeah.
It's a very broad question. Right now, which things that come to mind? I mean, so many. I'm thinking of moments from the comic book Preacher. There, you know, when that came out, I thought it was mind blowing. So, you know, the Arseface moment. Anytime you see the Santa Killers, and anytime Jesse does anything.
Yep.
It takes me back to you know, my college days, 97, 98, when those books came out, and I was like, wow, these are comics now. Like I think that, you know, I wasn't that old, but that might have been the moment. I was like, wow, you know, the superheroes are great, and but you know, this is a story.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know they could do this, and you know, I was like, did Garth Ennis get arrested for for writing this? Like, you know, it was crazy.
Putting it all on the line.
Yeah. That I mean, that's yeah. So many, definitely one of them. But,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
How about favorite hero?
Favorite hero. My favorite hero has always been the Jack Knight Starman. I think the Starman trade paperback, Sins of the Father, was recommended to me by Scott Mosier, who produced most of Kevin's movies.
Yeah.
And you know, Scott I've known as probably the coolest guy I know. So when he tells me to read something, I know it's going to be good. And I picked that up, breezed through that trade in one day, and I was like, wow, this is phenomenal. Again, I was like, this is comics. Like no corniness, no you know, fleshed out character. One that I could definitely relate to. You know, he's the reluctant Jack Knight, reluctant superhero.
Yep.
Who was always meant to be the Starman. He didn't know it. Eschews any crazy costumes. Wears, you know, leather jacket, tank goggles. You know, didn't want to carry the little rod that looked like a dildo. I was like, no, I want the big, you know, I want the big one. I want to look cool. If I'm going to do this,
if you come up with somebody with like a little thing, it's like, go home,
yeah,
you're drunk.
Yeah, I'm going to do this. Like, I want to look cool doing it.
Yeah.
And yeah. So and not only that, but he is a junk collector, or you know, antique, you know, cool collecticals, not garbage, but you know, cool. You know, naked lady playing cards from the 50s.
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
Stuff like that. They, yeah, I don't know, something about that spoke to me. So, you know, good on Tony Harris, and you know, good on those guys. So one of my favorite superheroes.
Cool. There you go. How about super villains?
Super villain. I mean, if we go back to Star, you know, the Mist.
The Mist. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
The Mist is good. Oh man, the Joker. I mean, that's kind of cliche, but
it's the style's there.
Yeah,
he's something completely.
I think just that insanity. They, I mean, even if you look at real life, you know, whoever you consider a real life villain, people do evil. You know, whether you want to go to, you know, the Boston Bombers, who were actually a bunch of idiots. They weren't really, you know, they're evil, but they're more idiots. But you know, people commit heinous crimes now. Like kind of that embodiment. But times 100. But yeah, I mean, you see flashes of that in people now, but just the many stories that they've come up for him,
and the deeds he's done.
Yeah, the deeds he's done. And how how he counteracts Batman. He's
the two perfectly mirror each other.
Yeah, and the numerous ways he can be portrayed. Whether when the Jack Nicholson one came out, I was like, oh man, that's great. And until you saw Heath Ledger,
and then that was just one of my friends actually had nightmares for a couple nights after that one because when you get to when he's got the hostage fake Batman on camera, horrifying.
Yeah,
but it is a truly wonderful. How about favorite?
Mark Hamill.
Oh, Mark Hamill.
Oh, Mark Hamill. Yes,
the voice actor extraordinaire.
Yeah. Even animated form, Mark Hamill, he did a phenomenal job with the Joker.
Surely the fans will miss him when the new stuff starts coming out. How about favorite comic book movie?
Favorite comic book movie? I've been going back to that. I think the first Iron Man kind of spoke to me. I think Robert Downey Jr. Born to play the role, absolutely.
Yep.
Which is crazy. He got into some weird stuff. With substances.
Yep.
But mirrored very much Tony Stark's storyline in the comic books.
Yeah, it just came back on the grid and he fit the character. I don't think I've ever seen a better fit for actor and character.
The arrogance. Robert Downey Jr.
Big time.
Did that in real life. He's almost not even acting, but
could have been a biopic without the armor.
But I think that one's accessible to everybody as well. You can show that to anybody. And it's like, wow, this is cool. Like this is relatable. It's believable. Yeah, a lot of the other comic book movies, they're great, visually great, stories are great, but they're hard to relate to.
Yeah.
Superman. It's like, okay, yeah.
That's a tough one to pull these days. He's a very dated character.
Yeah, or even Spider-Man. I mean, it's great. People love him, but I think at the heart, you kind of want to sort of relate to it, and I think Iron Man kind of captures that. And
just the way it paved the road for this whole set of Avenger movies. Just
absolutely,
it was just the gateway to a whole another level of comic book movies.
Yeah.
I can only hope that DC can succeed in pulling Justice League somehow.
It's going to be tough.
It is. I mean, the array of heroes in that comic is so different from Avengers. Avengers was so easy to throw together. Trying to put Superman and Green Lantern in the same movie.
Yeah, it's going to be
a lot of work.
It's going to be tough, and I mean, they couldn't even get Green Lantern right, which is
that was a nightmare. That was probably
they had the money. Ones. They had any number of stories to pick from. They had it. They had it storyboarded basically. Yeah. What happened? The suits got involved, I'm sure, and screwed everything up like they always do.
Oh yeah, that's what suits do best, man.
Yeah.
You just put it on and instantly forget how to do everything correctly. Yeah. So. After watching a few episodes of the show, I'm starting to think you're an avid Star Wars fan.
Absolutely. Love Star Wars.
Favorite movie? Empire or Jedi? Because usually those are the two.
Yeah, I mean, when I was 8, definitely Return of the Jedi. I was like, wow, this is great. Wow, Endor and the speeder bikes were probably my favorite part. And the lines in there is like, oh, I'm afraid the deflector shield will be quite operational when your friends are
around. You just freak out.
Well, old man, shooting lightning out of his hands. It was great. And then you get older, and I was like, whoa, this
went a little overboard.
Yeah, this isn't as good as I remembered it. And once you hit, I think probably college age, you're like, wow, Empire was a great movie.
It comes together better.
Yeah.
And when you go with Jedi, you have to ask yourself, what idiot writer went, oh, Boba Fett, we don't need him. We'll just have him fall in the
the Sarlacc pit, and he's going. It was like
to the massive disappointment of fans everywhere.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'm sure you're very excited about the new trilogy.
Absolutely. Disney's got the money, they got the resources. Looks like they got the writers and the advisors, and
I mean J.J. Abrams coming on to direct.
Yeah, and the directors. So
based on his work with Star Trek.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
on paper should be awesome,
but there's a little bit of uncertainty at the same time. You're kind of like.
Yeah, I mean that's what I said when episode 1 came out.
Exactly.
Like, George is back. He's got, he's been thinking about this for 20, 30, how many ever years. He's probably been dying to do this. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And then, it's like, dude, what happened?
Yeah.
What? You had all this time. You have all these resources, and you turned into a video game. With a talking lizard or whatever.
What a duck-billed monstrosity.
Yes, yeah, what happened? So. Yeah, so I have high hopes. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it certainly gives us, because I mean, before now it was just drying out. All we had were some comics, some action figures.
Yeah, and
not much to talk about.
Right, and when I was a kid, I'd always heard a rumor. I don't know if it came from one of the magazines or the fan clubs that it was always supposed to be 9 movies.
Yep, there was always that mysticism.
Yeah, so
they always said 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, and then it just never manifested.
Yes.
And then Disney was bold with buying Marvel, so I mean, any particular plot, anything you'd be happy to see in the next?
I mean, I'd always heard it was going to be about Han and Leia's kids.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, that's a great legacy. If you can get Mark Hamill back, obviously him turning evil would be very exciting.
Yeah. So continue the bloodline, absolutely. Beyond that, I don't know. I'm sure they could come up with something good, but more Jedis, and something restore the Empire. I don't know, but
I've always been big on the space dogfighting.
Yeah,
I want a good hour and a half.
Yeah,
just something that'll give me more
toys. without a child pilot.
Without a child pilot, yes.
Pilot.
With no children flying planes and saying Yahoo every.
Yeah. They kept it simple in episode 4. X-wing fighters. Yeah. TIE fighters, trench, and occasionally you had
simple. It's easy.
Yeah, simple, and an exhaust port. That's it.
Yeah, I think our greatest risk with JJ is just getting blinded by lens flares.
Yeah.
If you've seen any of them.
Yeah. Quite familiar with the lens flares. Not a huge fan of them, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Lens flare is a Photoshop filter. That's it. Keep it in the still photo.
Absolutely. Well, it's better than constant wiping.
Right.
If you
exactly. Will. Right.
All right. Well, I think that'll about wrap things up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Ming Chen of the Comic Book Men.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
Well, after a painstaking voyage up here with GPS failures and wrong turns, we finally found our way to the stash. Managed to interview Ming Chen of the Comic Book Men and pick up some merchandise for the trip home. It's definitely a good trip.
Yep.
We made it alive. Sean's alive.
Hey. Barely, but he'll live.